Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Here's my number.
Please leave a
Call me,
message.
baby.
Hey, anything you're looking for?
Oh shit, I ain't got no points. No division tech. I can't get a hold of him. Do that right here. While waiting for this dumbass. Nope. There you go. Oh my goodness. What level are you on underground?
God, I'm not sure. Not high at all on this character.
How many characters you have?
Well, I have two, but the other one is like just he only exists. Basically, it was my first character. I don't have anything on him.
Please leave a message.
Come on, Sammy.
Mom.
Yeah. Where's your dad?
He's downstairs feeding a baby. He said he's coming
Oh.
back up.
Oh, okay. Alright, we wait for him.
Black Solve rots woman's nose off. A woman who turned to alternative medicine saw her worst nightmare come true after her natural cure ended up leaving her practically noseless. The unidentified woman had a bump on her nose that turned out to be a type of skin cancer. Treatment was easy, but would have involved removing thin layers of tissue until the area became cancer-free. Afraid of scarring her face, the woman instead turned to Black Solve. She applied the herbal remedy to her nose and to another spot on her forehead. Black Solve is a topical paste that burns skin tissue. Despite being touted as an alternative cancer remedy, there's no actual evidence that it works. The woman learned this the hard way days later when her face swelled painfully and eventually started growing huge black scabs. 3 weeks later, she pulled the scab away to reveal a gaping hole where her nose used to be, so deep she could draw air through it. In the end, she had to have reconstructive surgery to fix her nose, and, well, it wasn't pretty. Even though half her nose fell off, the woman's cancer isn't likely to have completely disappeared and may still be growing underneath.
Hey.
dog sitter has been named and shamed. An Australian man wants to sue his dog sitter after the latter allegedly took such poor care of his dog that it resulted in this awful gash in the pooch's neck. The owner of the canine shared graphic images of his pet's injuries on social media. Sydney resident Jackson Milan went on the website Mad Paws to find someone he could leave his pets with so he could go on a 6-week vacay to Brazil. He met a man named John Walsh through the site, and the two met at a dog park, and Milan visited his home, after which Milan said he felt he could safely leave his pug Otis and boxer Dopey with Walsh. During his vacation, Milan kept asking for updates about his pets, but was met with endless excuses. Finally, Milan received a picture showing Otis with his harness on and what looked like nasty stains all around it, as if it had never been taken off. After Milan pushed Walsh to take the dog to the vet, it was revealed that Otis had a 6-inch deep gash across his neck. Apparently, his harness had been left on for 3 weeks, and the friction from the leash caused a life-threatening wound. The vet reportedly told Milan that the infection was so bad, it could be smelled from across a room. Milan later put together a GoFundMe page to raise money in order to pursue legal action against Walsh and to expose him for allowing Otis to endure such pain for so long. Otis and Dobie were later placed under the care of Milan's mother, where Otis's condition improved. However, he will most likely still require surgery after the infection is under control. Meanwhile, Milan has already reported the situation to Mad Paws, the police, and the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support Tomo News at patreon.com/Tomo News. What's wrong with these people? Dudes piss off internet after torturing a shark. This viral video shows 3 or 4 bros using a boat to haul a shark around at a very high speed. The clip was found by Instagrammer Mark the Shark, who discovered it on his feed and reshared it in disgust. As a result, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission are now investigating. We don't know how it went down, but we imagine the shark was just chilling before getting yanked out of the water by these gross items. And if we know sharks, and if you've seen any of our shark stories, you know we do. They're not exactly the most forgiving of fish, now are they?
Sea turtle dragged from beach for picture taking, then attacked. This loggerhead sea turtle is the latest animal to be used and abused by careless people trying to take photographs. The pictures were posted on June 15th by rescue group Animals Lebanon. The turtle can be seen getting dragged from Havana Beach just south of Beirut. The turtle was then subjected to being used as a prop for selfies, this little child even being placed on top of his shell. Once the people were done with him, one witness told the rescue group they began beating him with a stick on the head. The head trauma he suffered would support that claim, as veterinarians treating him report a depression in the skull that came from a recent strike. The turtle is said to be recovering at a marine animal facility until he's clear to be able to return to the waters. A blue shark in the Dominican Republic suffered the same ordeal, but died in the process. As did a swan in Macedonia back in March, and a dolphin in Argentina a month before that. Guess this trend of stupidity when it comes to taking pictures with animals is a global epidemic. Cruel youths in Scotland Snapchat video of swinging kitten on rope. A manhunt is on for 2 young boys in Dundee, Scotland, who Snapchatted footage of them committing an unforgivable act of animal cruelty involving a little white kitten. According to reports by Snapchat users, the teens had leashed the cat using a body harness and then swung it around a field mercilessly. The teens seemed to be aware of the anger they would inspire, taking things a step further by posting a photo of one of them holding the frightened cat in the air with the caption, "Come get us." As anticipated, Snapchat users who saw the feed were livid, calling the act vile, cruel, and disgusting. According to the latest reports on the story, a family member of one of the teens claims the whole thing is being blown out of proportion. She says the kitten was running around and the boys were trying to lift it up, but it just looked like they were strangling it. She insists the feline is healthy, fine, and not injured. The Scottish SPCA isn't taking this lightly, though, and is investigating the situation to ensure the kitty's safety.
Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support Tomo News at patreon.com/Tomo News.
Kangaroo shot in head with arrow, captured, treated, and survived. An RSPCA rescue team has finally captured a young kangaroo who had been spotted sporting an arrow which had pierced the kangaroo's head. Although injured, the kangaroo was still quick on its toes and took rescuers almost 5 days to finally capture the spry, skittish animal. The kangaroo was then taken to Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital, where it underwent surgery to remove the arrow, which had narrowly missed her brain and skull bone. After closer examination, a joey, a baby kangaroo, was found inside the injured kangaroo's pouch. Both mother and child were released back into the wild after they recovered from the operation. RSPCA officials say that it may be a hunter or just a malicious individual playing Robin Hood. Officials say they find kangaroos killed or injured by arrows or guns around 5 times a year.
Anyone who's got any information about this case at all, please contact the RSPCA.
Mutilated puppy rescued from Jakarta factory. A 3-month-old puppy found with severed legs and other signs of brutal abuse has been saved by animal welfare workers from certain death in an industrial site on the Indonesian island of Bangka. Photos of the pup named Brownies have since gone viral. Here's what we know. Brownies was a factory dog whose short life had been filled with misery. He suffered unending abuse at the hands of people so cruel they even cut off two front legs. But then, one day in April, a local woman named Mrs. Suwadi discovered him in a plastic plant pot near the factory, close to death, and rushed him to a vet. There, he received basic treatment that probably saved his life, as he was also suffering broken bones, a dislocated jaw, and severe dehydration. Yet, it quickly became clear that even better treatment was needed, and so Suwadi contacted Garda Satwa, an animal welfare organization in Jakarta. On April 30th, a small team of Garda Satwa staff flew to Bangka Island to collect Brownies and take him back to Jakarta. There, his jaw and shoulders were reset, and his infected stumps were amputated to prevent disease from spreading. He pulled through and is now on his way to recovery. So, for every story of human cruelty, there's another one of compassion. Get well soon, little fella.
Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support Tomo News at patreon.com/Tomo News.
What people do to dogs will shock you. Keep on.
You guys ready? You back? You guys ready? Come on. Sammy. Oh my God. I'm just waiting.
Please leave a message.
I don't know, he probably still beating his daughter.
Watching. SPCA rescues injured dog with rubber band collar. SPCA workers rescued a dog that locals had noticed and described as the balloon-faced dog. Rescuers found that the dog had a rubber band wrapped around its neck, which had partially cut off its blood flow and resulted in the dog's head becoming extremely swollen. The rubber band had also severed the dog's vocal cords, and it was unable to bark. Veterinarians removed the rubber band, which may have been put on the dog maliciously or perhaps gotten stuck on its head when it was younger and smaller. Rescuers estimate the dog to be around 3 months old, and it appears that the rubber band had been trapped around its neck for a month or more. The dog, which has been nicknamed Lucky, is now in recovery and awaiting adoption. Owner puts down fatally injured dog on public street. Oh my God, what are you doing? This week, a couple hit a dog as they were driving. Unfortunately, the poor canine didn't die from the impact, but suffered a fatal wound to the head. The owner of the dog decided to put his beloved pet out of its misery. However, the couple and other watching bystanders were horrified as the man beat the injured animal to death with a branch. The man later explained he'd rescued the dog as a stray. He couldn't simply sit idly by while it needlessly suffered. The woman, who is the same driver who struck the dog, called the man a brutal murderer. Hypocrite. Technically, under Taiwan law, only a veterinarian can euthanize an animal. But to quote Frank Underwood, there are two kinds of pain. The sort of pain that makes you strong, or the useless pain.
Abused dog yelps in fear when petted for the first time. The painful sound of this dog shrieking in fear at getting petted for the first time since being rescued hits us right in the feels. The video from November 11th shows the dog at Bresta Animal Shelter in Romania. According to Fox 29 Philadelphia, the scared puppy was sent to the UK.
What's up? Good? What happened? You say what?
I couldn't ask him for money.
Why?
Just have a problem.
Yeah. Like I told you, I wish I haven't.
No, I'm not asking you.
Are you fucking drunk?
Yeah, I drank.
Hmm. Okay, well,
I said I was gonna lose my shit. I don't want to lose. Because he didn't run. He got so fucking pissed.
you want to see him? Oh.
Nico?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Be that bad. I don't need that shit, bro. Get your money back so we can go get some presents. And then I talked to Sarah. She's so cheap. And Hector couldn't tell me anything. You know, his friend over there. So Kevin surely isn't gonna do it. He's talking about